However, there's other things that are about to happen, and I would like um, uh, let me think. I would like to. I have things to do, but right now I want to know what you do.
I Okay, I take it down.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what will you do now, everybody? Um, the Crixos says, is talking to at least us quietly. He's hoping that's going to be okay for talking, and says, you saved us, you saved us, you saved us again. And the and at least us is looking at the three of you at first fearfully, but then with some, trying to recover her uh, her dignity, basically her sense of self.
I'm just going to turn to Vepselk and say, asking Duster, "Are you okay? Are we fine?" You know, I'm trying to get some kind of reaction and see if she's still like being aggressive, or she feels we can.
Yeah, I feel like she's still in the cat ready to pounce, cornered animal stance, to be honest, because she wants these people to leave. Can I communicate with non-dusters? Because
you cannot.
I don't know if I can actually say anything to her.
You can.
Yeah,
speak,
I can't.
According to the rules, you can only speak to dusters.
Right. So I'm not speaking duster.
Right.
I'm speaking to it.
Right. In my. Yeah, you're not using language when you speak.
Right. Right.
In my interpretation, using the supplement, half dusters would count as duster for this purpose, and dravers do not.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think she's not about to attack, but she's still staring at this.
Right.
Yeah, these intruders.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm waiting for Ithasha or for Farith to say something. I know what my other characters will say, but I'm interested in what you will say now.
Well,
just one bit of information. Did everybody feel that magical reaction, or just Ithasha? I mean,
I think I may be the only one who knows that it wasn't me.
Right, correct.
It's true.
You must be thinking, wow, Ithasha's a hardcore.
Yeah.
She made this whole thing shake. Wow, she's amazing. Right.
And I'm deliberately not saying something about that right now, but I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not really happy about it.
Right, you're kind of maybe a disturbed look at the ground. What's this about?
I mean, I don't know what. Right now, I think Ithasha is really unhappy.
Oh yeah, I got it. No, this is quite interesting. I'm prepared for anything to happen. I mean, a full-fledged combat was there to happen if we went that way.
Yeah.
So
we had one failed roll.
It all went down in the spit. If the spit had hit her, that would be the end of it. You would be up against if not like the most formidable human imaginable, but a fairly competent human, and with powers and abilities that you guys don't know anything about, would have been interesting. So, all right. But I kind of like this as it went. It really actually works beautifully in terms of my enjoyment of the situation. So
it was nice.
Yeah.
I don't get why you're so unhappy. I mean, the place is responding to your magic. It's
because spirits are so predictable and reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, it must be something you signed in for.
I mean, serious.
Sorry about that.
No, we're fine. We're fine. And so I was clarifying. We clarified a little bit just about feelings. And so let's let's see what happens. I think we can kind of settle down the combat round initiative problem and just
Yeah.
go into
Mhm.
talking a bit. And Listas will, having recovered herself, said that she and members of her clan or family or group um, had ridden into these lands with Christos, who is a guest from far away, from the cities, and that they uh, that they had been attacked by the hyenas, that their group was scattered. She doesn't know what became of the others, um, but that this, um, but that they had been chased by a very small number of the hyenas, and that they would not stop. And they had. She looked and said, "Crixos saved us. We would be dead. Crixos, he saved me." And they have not dared to set upon us as long as we were ready for them. But they kept pursuing and kept pursuing, and we are almost out of strength. If we had stopped and fallen asleep or worn out, then they would have killed us. Um, she said they're absolutely determined. Now, Vesel, what with all your hunting roles and stuff that we've talked about, this isn't hyena behavior. To pursue
Mhm.
prey over a very long distance in a dedicated, way is unusual, or not really what you would expect. Given a competent defense from a prey item, especially with other ones running hither and yon, right?
Right, right.
Then
Yeah.
they would have, the ordinary hyenas would have said, screw, that one's tough. Let's go catch an
Right.
easy one, and that would have been
Mhm.
the end of it. And then to add a day's chase after that, it's like hyenas are deeply territorial, like really
Mhm.
territorial. They've got their hunting grounds, their areas, their stuff. I mean, that's way out of range.
Right.
Aside from the exhaustion and the dirt and stuff like that, are they wounded in any way? Do they look like?
They are not,
Mhm.
and yeah, they are not wounded.
Okay.
They look like they've had a tough day, across the Badlands, but they're not. You know, nobody. They have no bites.
Yeah. And the hyenas are still all around
Oh
us
yeah.
right now.
It's become darker. Almost the sun is almost completely. It's almost completely night at this point, and the hyenas seem to have become rather quiet.
Mhm. And they surround the place. They don't.
Except for the northern portion that you guys came through.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and so Listas continues and tells them. Uh, so uh, my uncle is a notable person, and the three of you would be well well regarded, um, if you help us. Uh, and at the mention, she's not speaking Duster at this point. She's speaking Common, and Crixos, when she mentions her uncle, shoots her a quick look of kind of like, "What are you, crazy?" kind of look, and then he, it's not about you, so it's not like he turns back to you in any way, but he reacts sharply to her mention of her uncle. Um, And so, but she's, she kind of swallows. She's hard. I mean, ordinarily you tell a little story about yourself, in human conversation. Other people go, "Oh, how interesting!" And well, the way we got here was this. And there's kind of like they sing little songs back and forth, right, of their little personal histories or something, and that's polite at the very least, and it's a way of forming a brief enough bond where real negotiations or serious matters can be discussed. And she's looking at your three blank faces. I mean, even a Draver, right, compared to a human, is relatively serious, if that's the right word, relatively, Spockish. And so so she's kind of looking back and forth and realizing to her, she feels like she's getting nowhere. Right?
Okay, I'm going to help her out. Although I really don't know how to react to her story and probably will not. So I'm basically telling her, because that's what I got out of it. You can stay. We will help if we can. You asked, and I accept your plea.
Oh, her knees give way. Her knees just give out. And Quixos, who did not understand you, speaking in Duster, says, "Well, what does she say?" And Lista says, "We are safe. We are safe." And he turns and looks at the three of you and does an odd gesture that is some sort of polite gesture. It's kind of hard to say. It's putting his hand here. The fingers are placed in a specific fashion, and he doesn't bow his head, but he does something which indicates deep trust, which is closes his eyes ritually for about 4 seconds, and then drops the pose. So it's some sort of thing from his culture about this kind of accord. Not too hard to understand. You've just never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
okay, well, you have to listen to a shaman when they speak and make a command.
Oh shoot! All right.
So yeah, I guess Mephisto changes back into a person.
Nice.
Down in the high spot because she was looking for blood, but I think if Thasha wasn't a shaman and we weren't in this place, she probably would not have.
Yeah, she'd go
stopped.
further.
But I feel like
We'd have to fight it out.
Yeah. And she's not like pissed or like annoyed. She's just listening. I mean, I feel like it would just be a normal thing. Like, that's kind of the authority of this place. So yeah.
Okay, so you're going to shift back, which is definitely a surprise for Crixos, who's never seen any such thing, and and will definitely make an exclamation that involves some god's name, and Listas, he said, he's like, I had heard, by the gods, I'd heard. He's like, it's like he says, it's like the elves in the old stories. So, they are basically placing themselves in your hands. They don't know where the proper place to be is. The Listas, says if this is a holy place, then we don't want to, put us where you think is right. And she keeps using the wrong word. Holy isn't a spirit word, right? It's not the right word. She just doesn't know the right word. She's adapting it into more institutionalized religious form. And so, but basically, they're a little reluctant to leave the high ground. I mean, this is the one spot in this whole structure that you would want to fight from, against a group. And they're a little reluctant to leave this spot, but if you say so. The huts that I mentioned and that you can see on the map are not shelters, as I mentioned before. Those are
no.
Right. So whatever you guys want to do or say.